Welcome back. I'm fighting the title. For some reason it does not want to behave the way it was earlier. Everything else, I think, moved over pretty much as intended. Welcome back. Oops, I'm also hearing myself, so I need to mute the stream. The way it was earlier. Everything else, I think, oh crap. How do I mute the stream on OBS? Oops, I'm also hearing myself, so I need to mute the stream. Oh crap. How do I mute the stream on OBS? Alright, let's see if this comes through. May not have been the Streamlabs OBS, it may have actually been Twitch running in the background. Yeah, that was all microphone placement, and yes, I think that was Twitch in the background. I have learned very recently that you basically have to eat the microphone in order for this to work. And that is still a habit that I'm trying to discover. Also screwing this damn thing so it stays in place, but that's separate. Alright. So. Title. I told it to center, it's not centered. I am just going to give up on that. I don't care anymore. Yeah, dungeon. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even... Well, that's because I'm using the extents. So let's turn that off. And just do that, and I think that that's going to be fine for my purposes. Alright, so, what was I doing? Right, you could feed your family for weeks with this much bounty. Alright, let's kind of keep an eye on it, make sure the chat actually updates. You take it all home to tell... Right, I was still thinking about this one. And, okay, so anytime I get stuck, I'm just going to roll a die here. And I get a UFO. I've got some dice here, Rory's Story dice. They are not numbered, they have little pictures on them. And this one was a picture of a UFO. Clearly, to find your family is missing. Abducted. You stagger back in horror. No open-ended questions. Even if it's dramatic, it's not going to like it. And look for clues as to who... Look for clues. Yeah, let's just leave it there. The kidnappers have left the ransom note on the table. You grab it up and read the scrawling handwriting out loud. The ransom note proclaims... Yeah, you tell me. I'm not going to tell you. This is your job. We have your family. We will return them safely if you pay 100 gold pieces, or else we will feed them to the worm. We'll be in touch. 100 gold pieces? That's a king's ransom. You've never even seen so much money in your entire life. Even if you sell all the weapons... There's no way. You'll have to do crimes. Oh, I know. Like robbery! Oh, did I have a quest? Okay, it automatically gave me a quest, huh? Let's see here. Completed quest. Leave your village. Good on me. I did it. In the distance, you can see several mines. Perfect place for finding bandits and robbers. You grab all the bandit equipment and head out. If you're going to pull this off, you're going to have to become the bandit. You rack your brains and think of all the traits of a successful bandit. Such traits include drumroll. Using a crossbow, deception, brute strength, ruthless nature, charisma. In a moment, yeah, I'm going to let that continue. You'll have to choose just one. But first, okay, no. Let's just get rid of that. So it's interesting, only bandits use crossbows, nobody else. This is on Dragon. Luckily, you have several crossbows. You load them with knives and approach the mines. The mines are packed with dangerous miners that come in many forms. Some use pickaxes, some use shovels. You need to find the bandit leader and take his head. Your crossbows. You fumble with all your crossbows and decide you need a secret weapon. You find a coil of rope and tie all the crossbows together into a single super crossbow. Oh, whoops, I'm going to need to get rid of that scroll bar. Let's see. First, let's lock titles so that doesn't fuck up. Dungeon capture. Give me your filters. And go away. Oh man, that's going to cut out that. Well, that's fine. What are you going to do? 20, nope, like 50? Jeez. 70. Move out of the way so I can see. 75. 80. Oh, right. 60. 65. I think that's about right. I could probably do some CSS. Oh, no, that's not right. To get rid of it, but that is not something I'm going to succeed at doing in like 10 seconds. Perfect. Okay, so a little bit cropped. That's fine. All right. Single super crossbow. You approach the camp from a nearby cave and peek out. You see an armed miner approach another miner. You pull your trigger. You manage to hit the bandit in the neck. Success. Maybe that was the... Oh, what was it called? Maybe that was the bandit leader. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't. It was... just some random bandit. You loot the corpse quickly, take his equipment, and shove it in your bags. You continue this for about an hour, the heat and the thudding of axes on trees getting to you. Before long, you've assembled 200 crossbows into the Ultra Giga crossbow and levered it up on a hill. You fire a shot that pierces everything in a 2-league radius. You reload again and fire into the next valley. That should take care of any stragglers. You shoulder the Ultra Giga crossbow and make your way back to base. Remembering you needed to kill the bandit leader, you look through the bodies until you find him and confirm the kill. That means you are now the bandit leader. Unfortunately, you killed all the other bandits. But now you've confirmed you are a bandit. You look for a caravan. You go to the next town in search of a caravan to rob. You see a massive one heading to the mountains. That'll be full of gold. You slink back into the woods and sneak around following the caravan. Hours later, you are still tailing the caravan. You would have taken them out by now, but your Ultra Giga crossbow is out of ammunition. You have to rely on deception, brute strength, ruthless nature, and charisma for the rest of your heroic adventure. Excuse me. Apologize for that. The unattractive, ugly, and slow highwayman. Thanks. You make a calculated guess that the caravan is going to stop for the night at the nearby Castle Dunmere. Gives you time to prepare. When they stop for the night, let's see. You use deception and charisma to saunter up to the merchant in charge of the caravan. Hello there, merchant. I am harmless. You notice he is larger than you, so you are sure to emphasize your harmlessness. Harmlessness. That's tough to get out. And nothing happens, so I'm going to let it continue. He eyes you warily. I'm here to relieve you of the weight of your silver. You draw a pistol and fire. Your shot hits him squarely in the head. I don't have a pistol. I'm going to retry that one. Here we go. I was wondering, since you are stopping at... Shit. I retried. I need to restore that. There we go. Get rid of that. I was wondering, since you are stopping at Castle Dunmere, have you found anything of use during your travels? The merchant frowns. Alright, keep going. Say something. He realizes you are trying to find out if he has any treasures on him. Alright, so what does he do? I'm going to give you one more and then I'll give you a cue. His face says no. You smile back and offer to give him a free haircut if he tells you where he purchased his robes. He gives you the name of a store. You thank him and begin cutting his hair. Having given him a bowl cut, you sneak off with the locks of his hair and find a witch with which to cast evil curses using his hair. You know the witch just took all the hair and drank a bunch of booze, but you tell everyone she cast an evil curse on him. The next day, the merchant is found in several pieces inside his tent. Oh shit. The witch really did cast a curse. You go back to the witch to find out if you are also cursed, and barter and plead for your life. She says her spell requires a sacrifice of one of your eyes to undo it. Will you give up your eye to escape the curse? Yes, you give up your eye to the witch. I didn't decide that, it decided that for me. Half blinded, you ask the witch to confirm the curse is gone and give you a receipt. She says the curse has been lifted and gives you a certificate. For your big eye sacrifice, you've received one big eye. You take your certificates and leave, having, let's see here. Well, I gave up my eye, so I've still got all the treasure. Back at the caravan, you discover... Do I still have the treasure? Oh shit. Holy cat, you're getting called out. You discover the merchant bodies have been discovered. You hear the sheriff is seeking out the murderer. You decide to use your charm and charisma to convince the sheriff you were getting a haircut in town at the time of the murder. The sheriff... This is interesting, because now it's... Let's see what the sheriff says. I'm just going to let it continue. Because it's kind of giving me a other way around. He bought your story and took you in for even more questioning. Okay. You've been called into the castle and need to find a way out of this mess. Sup, Crabbo? You may query the guard that led you inside. So you know this is the first stream ever, and possibly the last, who the fuck knows. This is literally, I've just set it up. So if you have any feedback about not just content, but process, about the layout, about anything else that's going on, just let me know. I'm an open book. Holy Cat started that by saying, hey, do you use Streamlabs? Because you should probably use Streamlabs. And now I'm using Streamlabs, so there you go. I didn't even know Streamlabs was connected directly to OBS. Alright. Hey, guard, you query. Box? No, that's too silly. Let's see here. Where were you on the night of the murder? Let's see if I can turn this around. I was on the other side of the... Okay. I was on the other side of town, questioning another merchant. Really? You reply? The guard never lies. However, it looks at you with uncertainty. You stare back at him, using your uncommon charisma to influence his brain bits, and coax a confession of murder out of his non-lying lips. Of course I was! You're not seriously accusing me, are you? Only one of you is telling the truth. Having sown the seeds of doubt, you both enter the Chamber of Justice and face the judge, let's capitalize this, of the castle and all the lands. We'll see how the streams thing goes. I mean, as long as this is entertaining and I am bored, it's likely to happen. The judge is a giant, but also fair. It is up to you whether his brain will be fully functional or broken. You opt for a broken-brained judge, hoping that will turn the tides in your favor. One thing I think I need to do is adjust the chat box. It looks like it gives itself way more padding than I did. Okay. After all, a broken brain isn't incapable of achieving anything, just requires a little more work from you. Judge Giants. I am innocent, and the guard is guilty. I was getting a haircut at the time from an undisclosed barber. The guard murdered the merchant. And I can prove it as long as you don't ask me how. You both turn to the judge and await his verdict. What is it? The judge looks like he swallowed a lemon. I find you both guilty of murder. Guards, take them away. What the fuck? The judge lied! I demand a retrial! You yell frantically as the guards drag you both away. This is a miscarriage of justice. I am an innocent peasant merchant, bandit, and I deserve something. Deserve a fair trial. Oh, okay. There is a moment of silence before the judge rises from his throne. You are correct, little peasant merchant bandit. You may leave. Go and sin no more. You cheer and run the fuck out of there as fast as your rich little legs can carry you. Back at the city or something, you take one of the caravan's horses and ride quickly back to your homestead. Now that you have the ransom money, you can get your family back. Let's see, what do they say anyway? Let's see. No. We have, we'll return to pay, or else we will feed them to the worm. We'll be in touch. Here we go. You approach the dragon's cave, who must have been the worm, and throw the bag of coins inside. You wait outside for a moment before a huge reptilian figure appears from behind a rock. Ah, it's my little money raiser. You prostrate yourself before the great worm. Oh, mighty dragon, I have given you the 100 gold coins and also some locks of hair. Please return my family, preferably uneaten. The dragon takes the bag from your outstretched hand and examines its contents. Then that's a she, okay. She looks down on you with her huge red eyes. Your family will be released. You have complied with the dragon code. You exhale a great sigh of relief. The dragon code is very complicated. Top 10 codices? Yeah, let's just say laws of the dragon code. 10. I unabashedly steal this from Wayne Radio TV. 'Cause fuck yeah. 10. Association. No man can represent your code but yourself. 9. No sharing information. You must tell no one about the code, no matter how much you trust them, even under pain of death. 8. When you kidnap someone's family, if they bring you the gold, okay, give me more. Give me something. You must release them. No negotiation. 7. Oh, here we go. You must hand over all French people over to the magistrate. Never compromise this law. 6. When doing laundry, don't use the dryer. It sucks. Never show mercy to anyone except magistrates or those with a locksmith license. 5. Number 5, the top 10 laws of the Dragon Code. A back scratcher should never be used as... A back scratcher should never be used as a weapon. Everybody should own a money box. Never lay leather on seats, only lay it on the roof of your mouth. No lock shall resist you unless it is your own. So it's kind of skipping down here, huh? 5, 4, 3, 2, and the number 1 rule of the Dragon Code. All dragons are obliged to possess a code. Kill all those who break the codes, even if they pay their debts. The dragon brooches on your desk begin to glow red hot. Shit! You dive for cover, remembering the dragon... Let's see. Okay, what happens here? You dive for cover. Well, okay. You remember 20 years ago when you saved your family from the dragon. The dragon made you promise never to break the dragon code. But by thinking about the dragon code, you broke the dragon code. Now the dragon brooches are here to exact a terrible price. But you still your mind and block out the terrible truth. I don't believe in dragon brooches, you yell psychically. Too bad, they yell back in your head. The red brooches glow white hot and burn a hole in your desk. Being in pain, you find it hard to not believe in the dragon brooches. Remember what your life coach told you. And go to your happy place, mumbling a sutra of tranquility. All is peace, all is calm. All is serene. Then you wake up and remember that you're about to get fucking barbecued. You desperately try to think of something else, but your desperation makes your thoughts go haywire. You find yourself thinking of the golden girl. No, that's out of... Okay, let's not go there. You find yourself thinking of rain barrels. If you believe in them hard enough, they can come to life and quench the dragon brooches. Possibly. Barrels are sturdy, so why should they not come to life? So many things in life that we believe can't come to life, but really, are we sure? Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. The barrels do something. The barrels begin to stir. Whether it's from the power of your mind or not, you're not sure. It could be a complex egg timer sort of effect. Either put the fucking fire out or not. You yell at the barrels. Get off the fence you were made from. Either put out the Either put out the fucking fire or not, you yell at the barrels. Get off the fence you were made from! The barrels spout water at the dragon brooches. Quickly, the fire is doused, and you sigh with relief. The barrels go still once more. Your immediate problem is fixed, but now that you've broken the dragon code, every dragon knows it. That means the dragon that kidnapped your family is going to be back. Oh, we've got a suggestion here. Alright, let's see here. As you look for a solution, I'm not too proud, you find a book on the ground that's called Introduction to Crab Magic. It is filled with instructions on how to do crab magic, varying from the everyday spell to murdering people a lot. You're intrigued, specifically in the murder people a lot part. Maybe you'll use its powers to protect your family and friends that way. The next day, your door is kicked down by several authority figures. In a panic, you cast Murder People a lot on on the figures kicking down your door. Let's be specific. In an instant, you realize this was a mistake. The figures are no longer people. They are instead tiny blue crabs with human heads, with lots of legs. Turn the pages of the book in search of anti-crab magic and cast butter on the crab head legs. Swarm. Yeah, there we go. Fuck, this crab magic is hard. You turn the pages of the book in search of anti-crab magic and cast melted butter on the crab head leg swarm. The crabs are instantly glued to the ground and unable to move. Pleased with your quick thinking, you quickly rush out of the room, office, hospital, and planet. Sup, Kisuken? You rush out of the planet. Alright, so I am a peasant. I have clearly abandoned my family at this point, fuck 'em. In order to escape the crab menace, I have gone into space. How the fuck did I do that? Well, no, not I, you. It's a good thing you found that crab spaceship spell in the book. With this spell, you hurl yourself out into the starry voids in search of a place to live that has no dragons, crabs, or authority figures of any kind. While you're hurtling through space, the crabs finally manage to pick themselves up off the floor. They immediately begin practicing murderous conquest on each other in your honor. Good. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay. Let's see here. The lands quickly are torn asunder by crab war. The rivers flow red with blood and whatever color crab juice is. Kind of clarish yellowish. And splinters of crab shell are as common a sight as the bones of the fallen. And as the bones of humanity. Let's do that. Death has come to the lands on crabby legs. I don't think the peasant is even important anymore, honestly. Your mother weeps in a refugee camp. Your sister joins the Royal Army. Your brother has become a crack addict who sells himself on the streets just to buy his crab crack. Forlorn. Let's see. Let's grab a die here. Well, that's not very... That's one of the Three Stooges of all things. Before long, the surviving members of this feudal fantasy society, have gone mad with grief and having overdosed on too much surf and... that's lobster, isn't it? Too much crab meat. Thus, the lands descend into post-apocalyptic, post-crabalyptic chaos. Brother turns against brother. The sun grows red and sprouts legs, as well as claws. Cats and dogs are both eaten by mice. I don't know. The earth starves. Then, much later, you reappear. You're still a peasant, not even a knight or lord. You are a crab peasant with crab magic. That elevates you above the rest. You set out to use crab magic to restore the planet's equilibrium in favor of your crab code. It's a good thing you remembered the crab code. It's what kept society together for so long. The king, distracted by his domestic issues, hasn't noticed your actions. You scuttle up to the king's castle. This is the last king in all of the planets. You cast Become Crab. Become chitin, I think? No, or is that spiders? Is that arachnids? I mean, they're pretty close regardless. You cast Become Egg Salad on the doors. On the gates, rather, of the castle. There we go. Soon, the king is lured outside by a trail of egg salad. His guards sniff at the salad trail, but it's only when the king himself is lured outside by his love of egg salad that they spring from hiding. It's far too late for them to be of any use. You summon the giant enemy crab of legendary lore to do your conquesty bidding and order the giant enemy crab to dice up the king. The king is turned into egg salad. You order the enemy crab around some more and instruct it to walk back into the ocean, or whatever bodies of water they live in. Who knows? Now that you are Crab King, you order all remaining humans to bow to you. See what happens. They obey. Now you have to establish your dominance over the kingdom of men and enforce the laws of the Crab Code, or at least your own understanding of it. It's complicated. Alright, let's do this again. Top 10 laws of the Crab Code. 10. Do not steal other crabs' pork. Other crabs may steal your pork, provided they are willing to use force to do so, or you've elected them in a position of power. Number 9. Okay. Number 9. Is nothing sacred? Who or what is a pork? And why are crab monsters so intent on stealing them from each other? It's not really a new law, but we'll let it slide as long as it does something for number 8. Group hangouts are to be referred to as crabses. You must say, "Pardon my intrusion, crabses," before entering a crabses. This is getting good. The afterlife is forever. There will be a ceremony for fallen crabs, but you will still forever roam the void. You will be an armed crab ghost now, and this is known as post-mortem ascension. You cannot charge people for crab communism. You can only give it to them for free, or volunteer to do so. Number 5. Statements must begin with "Young Initiate, Learned Elder," or "Honored Comrade." Subsequent sentences must then end with SSS or nothing at all. Okay? You may only steal people's pork from them if they have too much of it and do not perform their duties to the Crab Code. Old initiates, learned elders, and honored comrades are to be referred to as Lector, Magos, or Dreadlord, respectively. You may not excessively multi-post. If you intend to make multiple posts in a short period of time, you must announce your intentions in the form of a clearly labeled edit. Good thing the Crab Code caught on to that. And the number 1 law of the Crab Code: Hell pebbles are not krill. Hell pebbles are not krill. Alright, I think we've taken this one about as far as we can go. Plus, I think there's entirely possible that... I can't even see. How do you know who's watching? It must be somewhere in here. I mean, we've got users in chat, but that's telling me everybody that's been in the chat. That's not helpful. Huh. I mean, I go to Twitch and see, but... I usually just quit out of it, honestly. But I think there's a quit... Here, let's check help. It's there for a reason. Let's see here. Alright, well that's totally useless. The end. It's usually pretty... Wait! Hell pebbles are krill. Alright, alright. So, let's do something other than cyberpunk. What? Fantasy? Cyberpunk custom? Kasuken, you've hung out. Any preference for what to do next? Mess with the crabbo, you get the stabbo. And the stabbo is considered a magic weapon, and will hit even fae, ghosts, and so on and so forth. Let's see if I can expand the chat box a bit while we're holding on. I think. Done. Huh. Okay, I didn't intend for that to kill the log, but... No, that's fine. Let's see here. Right. Unlock you, that's what's going on. Alright, so I put you here, and then it's going to do that. Good. Alright, so, number 5. We want cyberpunk. Alright, we have cyborg, or a fusion of man and machine, a punk, random criminal, a cop, the authority figure, or an android, a pure robot. Which would you like? Meanwhile, we're clearly going to need a different soundtrack for this as well, so let's see what we got. No. Go with... Alright, and we're going to need some... Cyberpunk. Picture that is not 2077, thank you. I'll just do, like, arts. Well, there's a hell of a lot of 2077 here. Who would have guessed? No, not that. It's 1080. Let's get that going. Yeah, that'll do. That's fine. Alright, so, wallpaper. Do this. Done. Yeah, I may need to turn down the contrast on that a bit, but... Alright. There is that. Dragon 2. Cyberpunk. duality. Alright. Alright, that's good. Alright, and then we switch back over. And we are doing Cyborg, the duality of man. Enter your character's name. I need a bit of inspiration here. That is a puppy. Alright. Yappy dog. It's yappy dogs. A little like Boston Terrier or something. I don't know. You are... Let's stretch a moment. Alright. Double check. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. That's locked. Okay, good. You are Yappy Dog, a cyborg living in the futuristic... Hang on. This music's a bit more frantic. I'm going to turn it down some more. Alright. You are Yappy Dog, a cyborg living in the futuristic city of Zail. You have a bionic arm and a hollow band. You're walking down the dark city streets while neon lights flash brightly above you. As you pass an alley, you see a woman screaming for help. You go to run in, but are stopped by 2 robotic police officers. Do not interfere, citizen. The murderer is still at large, the bolder one says. What are you talking about? So needs your help. We have to save her. What are you talking about, bot? Someone needs your help. We have to save her, you protest. We have our orders, citizen. Stand back. You try to push the cyborg out of the way, but you are unable to do so. You find that he's incredibly heavy for an old robot. Huh? What was that all about? All right. Get out of the way, lead for brains, or I'll go through you, you threaten. You wouldn't dare, the robot says with a nervous gulp. You pick up a rock and slam it into the metal skull of the robot as hard as you can. Alright, taking a very analog approach to this. I guess I would, you say as you huff and puff from assaulting the police officer, the robot officer. His partner shouts angrily at you as you drag him out of the way. His partner is clearly a hollow shell and can't stop you. You run into the alley in search of the screaming woman, the woman screaming for help. Clearly, you have not gotten the message that cyberpunk is a dog-eat-dog world in which nobody does anything for anyone else. Hello, where are you? I'm here to help, you yell, hoping the woman can hear you. Okay, I could have done that. Give me something. Over here! I'm here! The beast is here! Save me! You hear her respond. You run in her direction. And see the woman is... And see there is no woman. How about that? The voice is playing from a boombox, being bitten by a stray robot dog. Ha! Fooled you! A cheerful voice says as a man jumps out from his hiding place. Ah! You yell, backing away in horror. You pull out your trusty rock and throw it at the man. You miss, and the rock bounces off the wall of the building behind him. Hey! Why would you do that? I was trying to help you. You jumped out at me. You accuse the man. Okay, that's not really it. try that again. You ran into the alley! Of course I jumped out to say hi! He protests. Oh shit, I hit retry again. Let's try restore that. Get rid of that. Alright, let's try this again. Jumped out to say hi. You retrieve your rock and shoo the stray robot dog away from the boombox, examining the boombox closely. Excuse me. What are you doing? The mysterious man asks with genuine curiosity. It's a boombox, I think, you say, turning it on and off, inspecting the buttons. Hands off, orders the boombox. It is clearly hosting some sort of sentient AI, and is none too pleased about having been bitten by a dog. You can talk? You ask it. Of course I can talk. I'm no tin can. I'm the talking boombox, the best new invention from the future. You pick up the boombox. What's your name? You ask the boombox. How should I know? I'm just an innocent boombox, wandering the land, spreading knowledge and love. The boombox is crazy. But hey, he's your crazy. You shoulder the boombox and make your way out of the alley. The police are still there. The police robots, let's not forget that, are still there, and let's see. No one seems to recognize you. Halt! You are under arrest for assault on a police officer, it dutifully announces. Are you serious? You ask. I am deadly serious. You'd hit it with a rock, but your hands are full with Boombox Marley. You run for it. You take a quick sip from your vault canteen. The police robot tries to give chase, but trips over his overly large feet. Someone trip that idiot! He's getting away! The boombox shouts. I'm right here, you know! What the fuck? You saved the boombox's life, such as it is, and it tried to turn you in. Once you're a few blocks away, you look at the boombox and accuse. You tried to betray me to the cops. What the fuck? Boombox Marley, picked up on that quickly, immediately responds with, what? No, I didn't. Let's retry that. Like, that straight up didn't happen. I did no such thing. You told them where I was. Alright. Let's keep it going. No, I told them where you were. I'm not going back to jail. Those robot prisons aren't comfortable. You throw the boombox to the ground in frustration. I'm gonna take you apart and sell your bits for Hollow Arcade tokens. You threaten. Hollowcade. That would explain the talking, at least. You wouldn't do that. You saved my life, man. I remember our conversations. Yeah, and then you tried to turn me in. If we give some lines to the AI, it takes to the history. We could do a multiplayer story, Crabbo. I don't mind. I don't really know. I've never done a multiplayer story before, so I might be a bit fumbly in setting it up, but, I mean, it's my Dragon account, so I could host. Kasuken, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but it should remember. There are some features of AI Dungeon where you, like, tell it to remember things. I never use them because it never really seems to work. But, like, you know, I threw your boombox Marley in there, and it picked up on it immediately. So it does try to remember things. You pick up the boombox in a huff. What are you gonna do to make it up to me? Yeah, I don't expect it's unsolvable, Crabbo. Either the boombox has some balls, or it's oblivious to its own imminent danger. And by balls, I mean a lack thereof. Can I go back to my blog? Where'd you get a blog in the first place? Don't you need, like, a computer for that? I'm a time machine, not a nostalgia machine. Let's see, what's a good cyberpunk curse word? I'm gonna grab this. Hold the hornet up. Wait, hold the hornet's nest. You're a time machine, you asked the boombox. Yeah, you fell out of it. Holy shit. I'm in the future. I hear it hasn't been all that great for the human race. You look around and realize that you are in the future. Before, you were in Neo Denmark. Now you are in New Neo Denmark. Everything is twice as cyberpunk as before. All of the neon is now hyper neon. All of the chrome is now holochrome. And all of the robots are double robots. Why the hell are there two Mustafars? You ask. What? A mustached gentleman asks as he walks by wearing a long coat and a cowboy hat. Never mind. What the fuck is a Mustafar? Mustafar. It's from Star Wars? Okay. Mustafar was a small planet located in the Mustafar system. The Arthpral Mustafarians... It's these guys. Okay, Star Wars rabbit hole. Okay, I'm just going to try that again, because I liked what I did. You see something flying in the sky. It's a plane. No, it's a dronification of a plane. It's a plane that's been roboticized. A drone, you gasp. I thought those were only in science fiction. But now they're real. This is the future. Does this mean I can get double... Nah, not double again. What kind of implants can you get in the future? You name it. A nerd in his mom's basement can genetically engineer it so you can sprout it in your body. That's unnerving. You think about it some more. Can I have an implant to do long division? The boombox says, damn, man. Maybe if you were a math nerd. But everyone takes long division out of their asses nowadays with the advent of RPN. RPN? Alright, continue. I'm intrigued. Reverse Polish notation. Now, is that Polish or Polish? Well, Where did I say it was? Denmark. So, could be, I don't know, 6 one, half dozen of the other. Reverse Polish notation, states the boombox. Nowadays, you can do logarithms in your head. You demand, we need some actions. We've had too much dialogue. You demand the boombox take you to a weapons shop so you can get hooked up with the weapons of the future. The weapon shop appears to be a franchise. There's a long line of people waiting to get in, or rather, waiting to get out. The sign says, "Try our new exit simulator, only 5 bio credits." You're confused. What's the point of an exit simulator? During the nuclear apocalypse, you want to make sure you can get the fuck out in a hurry. You pay your money and run through an actual burning building. If you make it, you win a prize. Well, it has nothing to do with what I wanted, but it's something, you know? There are verbs and shit. So, you look around for some bio credits, hoping to find them lying on the grounds or being offered in return for a small favor. My immediate thought was blowjob, but then I remembered this is AI Dungeon, and it could take that seriously, and I'm not trying to go there. Unfortunately, all you can find is an abandoned parking meter. What's a parking meter doing here? Just as you ask this, the parking meter opens up. Inside is something completely unexpected. Yeah, colon will work. What? A time machine. Despite everything else you've seen today, this still catches you completely off guard. Okay, the boombox said I was in the future, but a time machine? There's a time machine inside me, the boombox points out, and I'm a fucking boombox. Oh, yeah, I'm going to allow that. Thank you. I didn't say to add blowjob as a... Okay, well, now everybody can say blowjob from now on. That's what I told Twitch. There are time machines everywhere. This gives you an idea. Quick. Forget the weapons. You say, I need sports scores. I need lots of sports scores. You start looking for ways to get rich off of time travel. Sports scores? We don't have those. Everyone just implants the information. You might as well, too. Okay, so implant Wikipedia in me or something. Where do I do that? You ask. Cyber Wikipedia. There's a booth at the far end of this building, the boombox says, but I don't know how much good it will do you. Why not? You ask as you approach the implant booth. Because you have to implant something called Sportal. Never heard of it. It's a Time Station 95 sports database. Unique. If it's unique, then why is there a booth for it? It's like, that's weird. It's like I wanted to get away from dialogue, but it is fascinated with dialogue now. Good point. You have a lot of... Okay, no, that's... You know what, just retry that. Because not everyone wants it implanted. Some people just want the cheap thrill of finding out how Albert Pujols did today, or who won the last Puppy Bowl. Well, I want it implanted. You say, and you enter the booth. Give me Time Station 95 Sports Database Sportle. You order. What team? The machine asks. I don't know. Pick one at random. Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia Phillies, announces the machine. And, keep going, keep going. A knitting needle-sized injector plunges into your arm. You mumble some curses, then realize that it's done. Alright, I'm ready for the future now. You grin with, not malicious, but, capitalist intent. Or am I? Ready for the past. Leaping out of the booth, you run back down the street and back to the parking meter time machine. You twist the knob to bring yourself back to the cyberpunk past you left. Why are you traveling in time? The boombox box asks. Aren't you rich yet? You ignore the boombox because it's stupid and wrong, and you travel back in time. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. You abruptly find yourself in the middle of a large room. Half of the room is taken up by shelves filled with rows and rows of knitting needles? Yes, those are knitting needles. This doesn't look like the past you remember, although Neo-Denmark is a big place, and you haven't been everywhere. You find a sign on the wall and read it. Gratefully accepted, and not at all condescendingly, you learn that you are in a museum. Strange. You traveled to the past and find yourself in a museum of sportal implants. You look at the exhibits and realize these were all invented by some asshole who traveled back in time after getting a sportal implant. And that asshole was you. Dun dun dun! Every exhibit has a little paragraph next to it explaining how traveling back in time changed this man's life. You follow the trail and find that the museum ends up at your apartments. Increasingly dazed at the ontological revelations, you enter your apartments and look around. Your roommate sits in the common area, wearing one of those stupid cardboard boxes and sipping a pina colada. Hey Frank, got any snacks? I guess I'm Frank. Remembering that your name is Frank, you shake your head. No, I don't have any snacks. I never have any snacks. A snack killed my mother, and I swore revenge. Now, why is our apartment inside a museum? It's one of those dire snacks. Because I'm the snack, you fucking idiot. Now you remember. You bring your hands to your head in an attempt to hold together a brain that is eroding from its own stupidity. Ouch. You son of a bitch! Okay. The line that came to mind was, my mother choked on you. So we're right back on the blowjobs, and I'm not going to say that either. You killed my mother through carelessness and flavor impact. You raise your rock, gripping it in shaking and bloodthirsty hands. You smash him once, twice, 3 times with a heavy stone. Blood leaks out of the pastry bastard's face. I'll kill you, you son of a bitch! Bite-sized little Debbie Cakes bites! Okay, so how'd that blow out the mic? You know what? I'm just gonna let it continue. Let's see what it does with that. No! The blasphemous bastard utters, coughing out a bit of blood and one of his teeth as he struggles to maintain consciousness. Tell me why you did it. You snarl. Tell me what she... No, tell me why you gave my mother cyber diabetes. He smiles. I did it for the free publicity. He snaps his fingers, and you feel a rush of stupidity hit you like a rock to the head. You stagger back as your IQ lowers significantly. What are you doing to me? That's the nano-stupidity. You think that was... No, I mean... I built it into every... What is it? Sportal injection from the moment you started production. The whole world is getting stupid now. You drop the rock and stare at your hand in horror. How could you not figure this out before? There's only one chance. One thing the snack hasn't considered. You reel over to the boombox and shake it. You have to be smart! You shout at the boombox. You have to tell me what to do! Okay. That's nothing. Let's try that again. Okay, that's funny, but one more try. Killed my motherfucking ass, you hear from behind you. You burst your headphones off and struggle to find the volume knob, but it's too late. The snack expires. And as he dies, the nano-stupidity explodes like a tsunami, triggered by his death and narrative weight. The world becomes stupid. Children and adults both revert to being babies again, unable to do anything but crawl around. Technology shuts off. Transport planes cease to function. All of it. Robots everywhere are not find themselves dealing with a squalid mass of bawling babies in adult bodies. All utterly stupid. All helpless. and dying in the streets. Okay. An army of suicidal mutant ducks floods the city, immediately realizing it's been abandoned by its idiot former leader. The skies turn red, and warm fudge rains down from the heavens. Physics itself is becoming stupid. The only remaining source of humanity is those who did not get the sportal injectors in them. In other words, nerds. Math nerds. Except the ones who were into fantasy cyber football. Whatever that is. Here, let's get that. No, I don't like that. Let's actually just try it again. Shit! The leader of the nerds picks up the fragments of your broken boombox and kisses them reverently. Top 10... let's see here. Cyber sports games of the cyberpunk future. 10. Let's feed it something. So, spike ball, tennis, 9. Bits bench, 8. Buckabash, 7. Zero-G Australian foot hockey, 6. Rochambeau by royal appointment to the Duke of Siberia. Damn straight. Number 5. Oh, okay. You know what? I'll let that go. The nerds are too busy having cyber sex to play sports. Number 4. Gladiator. Woof, that's a word. Gladiatorial school for autistic. No, wait, that's just a cyberbulls. Number 3. Cram the hamster in the machine. That's an esport right there. 2. Have a white kid ask you if you can show him on your screen. Shit. Your screen's broken now, god damn it. And the number 1 cyber sport game of the cyberpunk future. Any fantasy football cogtails RPG. Alright. I don't mean to take this in weird directions. I used to be able to get a coherent story out of these things. I blame Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's too easy to get into silly tech. Top 10 crazy facts about the Duke of Siberia. 10. Let's go down this. One more. He's a goddamn monkey. He wears good clothes. On hot days, he takes them off to cool off, just like you do. Doesn't that make you special? All your scars? That remind you of the times when he saved your ass. His lack of eyebrows. He grows them back in a month. He once appeared as a wise guy with a limp on a future map that let you evade the snack's initial tracking. He's the goddamn Duke of fucking Siberia. He's a funny creature. He lets you ride its back when you've had a drink or two. He's better than that asshole Mantis. And number 1, which I'm going to get rid of and try again, the number 1 crazy fact about the Duke of Siberia. He attracted all the babes. Cogtails RPG. You are an indentured servant, and Mantis is your mean fucking master. Alright. I think that's good. I still can't tell who's actually watching right now, so I have no idea if we have a quorum for multiplayer or not. technically just, one. As with all things multiplayer, it's better with more, but... Is there really no way to see who's here? This is fucked up. There has to be a widget for that somewhere in this thing. I'll look it up afterwards. Like, if you want to do something, Kasuken, we can, I can knock it together just for you. And whoever else is here. Okay, so we got at least 2 people. Let's see. I want to see the rest of this list, just for funsies. His limousine would periodically blast past your maglev train on the way to corporate, scaring the living shit out of you. He killed me in an energy fight! He stole my cyberware and gave me substandard implants and the parts he kept. He hired another tech to replace me, so I was fired. He hacks my feeds to show me scary holographic monsters and Willie the York to scare the hell out of me. He hacks my registry so that everyone at Your First Duty is nicer to me, while everyone everywhere else is meaner. He created a fucking XXOR virus for me to find. He thought it would be funny if he gave me a banana cream pie and one of my scarecrows to meet. He made my bank account say I had less money than I thought I did. And he burned down my house. The world turns topsy-turvy, and now you realize you are living the world through the eyes of a 400-year-old monster. The end. The cyber end. Cyberspace. Yeah, okay. If I go back... Whee! If I do, like, quit... Quit? What? Oh, it doesn't want me... Okay. Yeah, forget it. Alright, so, multiplayer. Blump, blump, blump. Of course we need a setting. Any requests on the setting? Probably fantasy, just because it's the easiest to get along with. Battle. I wonder what that is. Fantasy or horror? Let's just do fantasy. Alright, so we're doing fantasy. I'm gonna need a name. And it's going to be... Let's do that. Alright, so where the fuck is... Okay, invite players. It's this. Alright, so I think you're going to need this code. And I'm going to put it up here as well. Now let's do this. Multiplayer. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Gonna need new backgrounds. X1080 fantasy. Because I don't want to use the same one twice. That's stupid. Oh, I like that. Alright. We are clearly going to need a different soundtrack. No. Definitely not. Yeah. I have not actually played the remake, but this soundtrack just fucking slaps. Alright, so I'm in there. How to join AI Dungeon 2 multiplayer. Looks like that. You can join multiplayer game by clicking on the invite link. This will send you the app. Is there an invite link specifically? There might be. So, invite friends. Is that? No, it just does that. Oh, that font is not... yeah, that font is not case sensitive, huh? Okay. Invite friends. You can use the bottom 3 times to share it on anything by copying the text in the text box. Well, it's invite friends. It's clearly this. And then if I do like this, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that either. Okay. Here's a link. I guess. That's a terrible goddamn link, but it might work. If not, I think if you just go to a play.aidungeon.io and go over to multiplayer, once you've logged in, of course, you have the option of joining a game with that code. Is that working for anyone, or...? Yeah, I've got a new chat window. Yeah, I've got you in here. If that's you. So that's one, and Crabbo did say he was going to be right back. We don't necessarily have to wait, though. We can get started, and you could just jump in at any time. Alright. Our story begins with a group of adventurers living in the medieval kingdom of Larion. The kingdom is filled with small villages and thatched cottages, and has been relatively peaceful until now. The adventurers are on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. They walk through the forest and notice a band of mountain dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer them food and drink. Then one of the dwarves turns to them and says, "If you want to pass through these woods, you'll have to pay a toll." Okay, right. Not as much story this time. Now I'm going to be doing stuff more individually. Let's see here. Thanks. The dwarves up and down. The dwarf up and down and compliments his shoes on being very fractal. Cumulodingus pays the toll, which apparently was a compliment. And before they knew it, they have walked through the woods to a field. Thank you, says Tharp, one of his warrior companions. Is there a Tharp? No, there is not. I'm just going to retry that immediately. Unfortunately, Cumulodingus gets kicked in the face for his troubles. In the distance, a cry is heard from one of your members about a giant cat. Alright, over to you. Somehow I think that outcome is much more likely. Start talking math to a dwarf, get kicked in the face. Zacharias says, "Do you have faced this monsters before?" The dwarves bring out a massive creature chained to a metal pole. It looks like a cross between a bear and a cat. Its brown and white fur is matted with dirt, and its eyes are completely dirt. I skipped that. Its eyes are completely black. Eyes of the creature. And I'm not gonna, let's see here. Considers the creature. Don't you know how to give it? Don't you know how to bathe? He asks. The bear cats. Before you know it. Okay, who's Udo? Does Udo exist? Udo does not exist. Try it again. The bear cat cringes back. Its ears are as sharp as an elf, its claws sharper still. One of the dwarves punches your party member in the stomach. So yeah, you just got checked. Have fun with that. So its claws are sharper than an elf's ears. And apparently the dwarves are ashamed of its being filthy? I don't know. It's kind of a strange outcome. Zacharias, knowing this creature has some sort of intelligence, he gestures to verify if the creature is hungry immediately. The dwarves nod and bring out a stick of dynamite. Do you know what this is? The bear cat's ears perk up. No. Are we going to feed dynamite to the bear cat and blow it up? And make a disgusting mess? The dwarves get very excited and begin lighting pieces of dynamite. Wait, stop! Says one of your members. The dwarves do so, and all the dynamite sticks are put out. Keep looking for Crabbo, but he did say he'd be back. What happens, happens. Zacharias kicks one of the dwarves to near the bear cat. The dwarf brings out a small cloth and gently wipes the bear cat's face. Bear cat seems to really enjoy this and closes its eyes. We could put an end to this now. I agree. Clearly, this creature is not a danger. He sets the bear cat free with a swipe of his, let's see, swipe of his, well, bolt cutters, because that's what you'd use to cut a chain. Oh, well, that didn't work out quite well, but that's fine. You release the bear cat, and she pads silently into the trees. Now get in there and get that staff, demands one of the dwarves, pointing to a cave at the edge of their map. Okay. Apparently it's just right there. So the best streams and the best streamers I've always find are groups. Like people who have other people there to help fill the silences. Because otherwise, anybody who's watching this, it has to be just dreadful. Just as the silence lingers. Kairos nods to Cumulingus. You walk over to the cave with your group. It should be just inside. Make sure you damage it enough to get its attention. You nod and walk in first. Attempts to damage the staff of Zalos by throwing pine cones in its general direction. Okay. That's not a thing. Let's try that again. Who's Anderson? You hear a click and turn around. One of the dwarves stands in the mouth of the cave. In his hands is a strange contraption, with cables running down to a box on the ground. The hell? I turned this off. Maybe it's not turned off and... Yeah, showed feedback. No. Okay, not that, but the other thing, which is... I could have sworn there was a thing for that. Alright, well, forget it. Okay, there that goes. Oh, maybe that was on your end. Ha! Okay, that's neat. So Zacharias says, what's the plan? The contraption is obviously a machine of some kind. It seems to have large drills for the dwarves to carve out the various stalagmites and stalactites. Dwarves seem to enjoy using them. Quickly! Stop him from activating the cave cutter device, or he'll trap us all in here with the staff of Zalos, if it's even here. And I'm going to capitalize this because I have to. I have responsibilities. You understand. Okay, Zach, you leap out and toss the dwarf to the ground. Do you help Zach with the fun? This is an action on your part. I don't like that. And okay. The dwarves continue to carve up the cave's features and putting them into the device. They seem determined to finish their task. You wire up the contraption. It's not too complex. Very fantasy music, yes. bouncy. I like it, but not sure it's cave battle music. Unfortunately, for as simple as the device looks, its movements start to shake the walls heavily. It gets more and more difficult to not get crushed by the falling stalactites. You look desperately for an exit, while dwarves continue to carve up the cave around you. Looks desperately for an exit, and finds a small hole, well, a man-sized hole in the wall. "This is my hole! It was made for me!" he announces, and climbs into the hole, wiggling deeper. Yeah, Sunpillar. Why not? Go nuts. The hole leads into a tunnel, and you crawl along it quickly. Yeah, it's an open offer to anybody who happens to be present, honestly. It's like, if I didn't want it to be public, then I wouldn't have posted it in chat. Zacharias pushes Cumulodingus into the hole. He attempts to crawl into the hole, but is stopped by your large frame. Huh. Okay. So you push him in, he tries to crawl in, he's stopped by you, then he climbs in with relative ease and you crawl after him. You can retry that if you'd like, or you can leave it, up to you. You push him into the hole. He looks surprised, but was climbing in anyway. "Hey!" he shouts, and begins to fall backwards, his legs still outside. Well, I can't let that get away. No? Nope. Snaps shut. And cuts. Oh, even better. The dwarf uses his complex, what the hell did we call it? His strange contraption to shut the hole, cutting Cumulodingus in half at the waist. All that's left are legs tottering around. Just click that link that I posted, Sunpillar, and I think the code just is in there. If you want the code itself, it's about 2 posts about... Oh, wait, does the link... Maybe it didn't persist. Oh, that's unfortunate. There it is again. If you want the code itself, it is that. Okay, I'm going to refresh that because I don't want to crush you to death. "You," shouts the dwarf, "will not escape my cave cutter. This entire cavern will be ripped from this mountain. And you will die." There's a chance you might hear my cat. You may consider her canon, or you may not. There is a bear cat running around after all. Alright, so note to self. I need to find a way to post something that just... Ooh, nice break in my voice there. I'm nearly 40. I need to find a way to add something that's persistent in chat so everybody sees it when they come in. Some sort of message of the day thing. Yeah, that's fine. I wonder if this will update automatically too. I honestly love the effect that when I go to some other menu, like this now has the background and this has become dark. And it's because I've chroma keyed it to this specific color that's in the background of AI Dungeon and told it's just like, no exceptions, like only that color. 5% off? No, it has to be that hex code. So whenever you do this, the rest of the screen darkens slightly, and that means it no longer shows up. Fun. Yeah, let's throw this in there. Are you coming in, Sunpillar? Because we do have this dwarf situation going on. It's like if we wait too long, I think they're going to start to do something. Dwarf hostility intensifies. And it immediately kills us. Alright, let's see what else we get. The dwarf is running towards the device. This will end right now, shouts the dwarf, pointing his drill bit at you. Yes! Yeah, if you haven't set it up before, it is a bit twisty. Like, the link itself should be straightforward, but the rest of it... Just for the record, I am hosting, so you do not need to pay for it. You do not need to do anything other than get your account set up if you're doing that. The only disadvantage of FF7 music is... so I had posted the link right there. Did you miss it? Or it's the one that starts with HTTPS. It's basically the only link in chat. Unfortunately, I don't get any kind of logging or notification on this side, so I have no idea if you're trying to join or what. But yeah, my momentary thought was the problem with FF7 music is it's not generic fantasy music. It's very specific fantasy music that everybody knows, and everybody knows when things play and what the context is. So you hear this, and you know what's happening, and you know it has nothing to do with dwarves and caves. But fuck it, because I like it. I've never tried joining a multiplayer game before, so I don't know how tricky it is. At some point we should probably just keep going, and if he comes in, you know, we adapt. If not, we've kept going. In the meantime, I'll make it a cave rave. Okay, you're gonna have to come over here if you want my attention, cat. Zack says, "You all gonna die if you're still inside. Get out and save your lives." Dwarves have heard you. "We haven't lost yet," says the leader. "Come on out now, otherwise it'll be too... What? Okay. "We haven't lost yet. Come on out now, otherwise it'll be too late." So is he trying to save your life? Totters over and begins kicking the dwarf leader in the shin. I didn't hear no bell. The dwarf leader loses his footing and falls over. Then, in a great and unexpected show of teamwork, Cumulodingus leaps into the air and lands on top of him. He teabags. There is the sound of drilling, and then a hole opens up underneath Cumulodingus, and he falls straight through. You get back to your feet as fast as you can and follow him. Okay. I guess the dwarf leader came with us then. I see you tried it. I don't think it worked. He grabs Cumulodingus before he falls, and time reverses. I mean, I think we should fall into the center of the earth. I'm good with that. Into the Forbidden Mines. Perhaps the lair of the Bearcats? We have yet to see the Staff of Zalos, if they were even telling the truth. Okay. Zack checks if Cumulodingus broke any bones. You step out of the cave. You're in a small rocky valley surrounded by hills. It seems you've fallen into a hollow earth where dinosaurs roam. And the land is fertile despite being miles underground. How astonishing. No, it's not going to know what to do with that. In the sky is something completely unexpected. A giant charging triceratops prancing through the sky like a bird. The dinosaurs see you and veer towards your position. So in the back of my head, I was kind of thinking, the Staphysalos is just floating up there like a giant sun. But no, it is in fact a flying triceratops. Well played, II Dungeon. Well played. Zack casts a light spell to blind the Triceratops. As you prepare the spell, a flash of lightning from a faraway storm rips through the sky. In that split second, you also see a woman lying face down in the dirt. The light spell is cast. You know, I want to see the effects. But the Triceratops is close, and its horn pierces your side. Oh no! A shock. You have been wounded by the flying, blind Triceratops. Zack says, "Damn it!" You collapse onto the ground, and your vision goes black. You don't know if the creatures trampling the earth are Appalachia's tyrannosaurs or the feathered lizards from Kosatin. The fuck is Kosatin? It's a Japanese restaurant. Okay. Anything? Kosa store. That's very useful. Kosa? Nothing. Alright. Anyway, you don't know if they're the tyrannosaurs or the feathered lizards. You don't know. Your vision is going black. When you wake up, you discover your wounds are bandaged. Cumulodingus also has many bandages. No, even better. Cumulodingus has a tourniquet around his waist. You have been rescued by an unexpected ally. The Bearcats. So I appreciate that, Sun Pillar, but at this point I wouldn't want to give up the game with Kisuken. It's like, I'm sorry that it's giving you grief. The Bearcat thing. What was her name again? Galtz? Ga? Doesn't quite speak your language. Or at least she has a speech impediment that makes understanding her very hard. Zack says, "What's happened with the dwarves?" Bearcat says something incomprehensible and points to his side. Oh, do that. Does an interpretive dance indicating the dwarves are way up there and also crushed to death, he hopes. The other two dwarves can't climb down here. You're either waiting for death to take you, or you're in the land where evolving twice is unnecessary. What the fuck is it on about? Roll with it. Well, let's retry that then. Let's do something else. I like that. You watch as a bear cat dances in a bizarre, interpretive dance involving fairy lights and strange geometrical shapes. This seems to indicate that dark magic is afoot. Perhaps you are close to the Staff of Zalos. Oh, shit. Oh, well, let's see what it does, but... yeah, I forgot to switch to story mode, so... yeah, okay. Nope. Let's try that again. I'm going to do this. We're going to get rid of this. And then story mode. Dark magic is afoot. Stuff. Oh, shit. That was supposed to be... alright, one more edit. Perhaps you are close to Staff of Zalos. Here we are. You nod to the bear cat, and together, you and your newfound friend set out for the island of Eskatavakia. Eskatavakia. Well then. It's a bit of railroading on the GM's part, I would say, but if it gets a story rolling. Sometimes a bit of railroading is acceptable. Let's say we've got a change of scene. Interesting enough.
Oh no, I must escape.
Alright, here we go. For a moment, Cumuloringus Dingus remembers about an old dryad legend. Some magic creatures need a ritual to be comprehended. Depending on the nature of the creature, it could become a friendly or a deadly foe. Since you don't know what's inside this cave, you may have to act as some kind of shaman, but you are not an expert on those matters. Alright, so the bear cat takes you to a grove suitable for performing magic rituals, complete with a ring of fairy mushrooms, a tree of pointy hats, and a grove of wild staffs. She leaves, and you begin another ritual. Did you brew any potions before setting out on this adventure? She leaves, but she's probably going to come back. She looks worried about something. It's because of the cave. After what seems hours, but actually just a few minutes later, a sea serpent appears in the opening of the cave. A giant! It's a giant! Sup, Lawful? The sea serpent must have slithered down from the surface, or perhaps swam up from the depths. Either way, it's here. And when it opens its mouth, it breathes out a cloud of toxic gases. You begin the incantations needed to counter the poisons. You hope you can do them correctly while having to act like you're concentrating when, in reality, you're just stalling for time. This has gradually shifted from multiplayer to a kind of pseudo GM scenario. But on the other hand, my quote-unquote character is currently a pair of legs. So interaction opportunities are limited. Let's see here. For as bizarre as it looks, this location has some sort of magical properties. In some way, the wines and the mushrooms have enhanced your intelligence right now. You there, the giant shouts, pointing a long finger at you, a snake figure of some kind. I know what you are. The giant has a long finger, a giant sea serpent, on the end of its tongue, perhaps to make up for its lack of opposable digits elsewhere. And it accuses you of being of something. You know, let's let the AI finish that up. How did it happen? Well, there was a dwarf. So we encountered the infamous dwarves that are always at the start of the fantasy scenario. And the dwarves indicated that we should go into the cave to find the Staff of Zalos. When we did, we discovered that the dwarves had a cave-changing device of some nature that they were using to carve up stalactites and stalagmites. There was a hole in the wall, and I started to climb through it, because I wanted to escape, of course. And the dwarves closed up the hole, chopped me in half. Things seemed bad, at that moment. But thankfully somebody put a tourniquet on my waist, so now I'm just kind of walking around. Like that one Pixar movie. Here we go. You, it growls in a low, rumbling voice. You're one of those human mages. Because of course it has to hiss, it's a serpent. And that's to my advantage, because sibilance, when speaking, especially into a microphone, is a real bitch to counter. But it's a serpent! Of course it hisses. It's sibilant all over. It's basically free real estate. I mean, nobody's really looked very closely to confirm that there are still legs in the pants, so that's entirely possible. The group members look at each other, but no one is a memorable mage. I'm not, you say, and even if I was, not sure what that has to do with you. Human mages are responsible for trapping us down here, accuses the sea serpent. Therefore, You must pay for that crime. Sup, Crabbo? Cody is... Yeah, look for the link in the code a little bit further up the chat. Let me know if the chat doesn't have it for some reason, and I can resend. The others are now very frightened of the dangerous-looking creature. You, on the other hand, are feeling quite brave. The wobbly mushrooms must be giving you liquid courage. I mean, clearly this is not a serious adventure to begin with, Lawful. I would not necessarily say join with the purpose of throwing dynamite dildos everywhere. Like, there's funny, and then there's stupid. Yeah, Sunpillar, I'm sorry about that. Apparently it is a pain in the ass to join a multiplayer game. So, good luck if you choose. I mean, it's not a problem if you want to see if that helps, and you're not super attached to this whole snake political scenario going on. I'd say it's up to you. There we go. Crab's joined. Crabbyton comes out of nowhere and says, "Well, how are you, adventurers?" Crabbyton, a friendly crab who hails from the town of Darnish, appears out of thin air. "Why, hello there," he says. Alright, well, what we'll do here is, I'll back out of this. I wonder if you can just run multiple multiplayer games in sequence. We'll do a custom game real quick. Why would I want to have a character's name before I even know what I'm doing? Alright, my character name is Halmut. We have we're going to do a quest here of some kind. We're going to do something. Let's see. Any idea of what you want to do in this new scenario? May need to refill my drink before long. I certainly have no objection to just doing the fantasy again if you'd rather go with an established prompt. The link doesn't really exist yet, I think. Okay. The Ancient Heart of the Dragon. Let's see here. Is this multiplayer? This doesn't look multiplayer. Alright. The custom prompt just doesn't really reflect it, huh? Alright. Well, let's do a thing. You are a group of... excuse me. Of adventurers in the kingdom of Larian. You are hunting. You are searching for the ancient hearts of the dragon. You enter... I'm just clearly reading off the prompt there, but... the heart was lost a long time ago. But rumors have surfaced, indicating it might be found in the vending machine near the city of Detroit. You have all taken a magical bus there. As you get off the bus, you encounter a band of dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer you beer and weed. Then a dwarf turns to you and says, Not at all lawful. Like, you can... This really is just make-believe at the end of the day. Invite players. I need this thing again. It is this. Reddit seems to be the easiest way. And boom. Link in there. That's a very good question. That's a bad response. Let's give it another shot. Tiny version is this one. You know what? I'll let that stand. I'll edit it slightly. There we go. Alright, so multiplayer shenanigans are still good. Let's get a different soundtrack going on. Excuse me. Come on, media player. Get your shit together. Well, that's a large directory, that's why. Okay. Let's see, I need decent background here. Of course, we don't have much to go on yet, but... Sure, we'll go with that. Alright, so I'm going to have some catching up to do. Then a dwarf turns to you and says, "You there! Sure isn't like the heart of a dragon is something that can be bought at a vending machine. Coffee learns the way of necromancy. You ask Master Necromancer Larn about the rumors that he is training some new necromancers. He laughs and says that such things are impossible, and you must be hearing rumors from the Delantium Kingdom. Coffee reads the enchanted tome of necromancy. You spend the next few days in an enchanted state. During this time, you learn all about necromancy from a tome you find in the Wizard's Tower." Okay, Coffee, back it up a bit, let other people respond. Crabbo appears. After a few days of studying the book, the crab appears in your room and says that Master Necromancer Larn will see you now. You go up several spiraling steps and enter a large entryway. Coffee reads the tome of pyromancy. You continue to study the necromantic arts in the tower. You read about the dark art of pyromancy, the act of conjuring fire. It turns you on. Coffee continues reading the Tome of Necromancy. One of the greatest things about the book is its section on creating undead armies. Necromancy is all about control, and who could resist undead soldiers? Coffee says, "Don't mind me, I'll join you guys later." You make your way over to the counter and grab a soda. Just as you do, a man in a trench coat claps his hands next to your ear. You scream, and everyone turns to look at you. James says, "You're really curious about undead." "I sure am," you say, almost laughing. "Can't wait to learn how to raise them." "Who are you?" asks the cashier. "I'm a friend of his." Salkin says, "Yeah, you should probably stop." The cashier disappears and turns into a purple worm. James pulls you away, and they both run out of the building. "What the fuck are you doing, man?" he screams. Alright, clearly to keep some kind of track on this, what were we doing on this? Find the hearts of the ancient dragon. Living heart of the ancient dragon. Alright, and what do I do? Hit enter? Yes. Okay, good. Now we've got an official quest. Master Necromancer Larn steps from the shadows. He wears an ankle-length robe and his head is covered by a conical black cap. I expected you, he says. Hastily... Coffee practices necromancy at the graveyard. You practice raising the dead in the graveyard. You end up getting his head and limbs everywhere. Few villagers even run up to you in terror. Helmut hastily bursts in the door. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Nothing, sir, you all shout in unison. Oh, well, we're going to meet the king. Oh, yeah, you say, cheering up. So, I did not intend to put myself in charge in any way, but apparently I'm in charge. Coffee learns the ways of chronomancy. The book teaches about the art of time magic, specifically ghostly possession, which doesn't sound all that appealing, but learning how to slow down or speed up the flow of time sounds pretty fun. El Stinko emerges from the shadows in a hoodie. A tall figure wearing a hoodie steps from the shadows. El Stinko grins and high-fives you. You missed a lot, he says. What is going on with this keyboard? Coffee improves the skills at chronomancy. You practice your newfound skills. Over the next few days, you master the skill of time magic and create a sand clock, a magical hourglass that only turns once every hour. Helmut says, well, someone concisely explain to me everything that happened in 20 words or less. You say, unsure how to begin. 10 words. Alright, once upon a time, there were some villagers. 5 words! James high-fives. You high-five, and it seems to you that high-fives are a rather popular way of saying congratulations in this world. Coffee uses chronomancy to spend an infinite amount of time mastering the art of chronomancy. For the next few days, you practice using your ghostly powers to slow down and stop time. You hope to master the art of creating an everlasting temporal portal for traveling through time. Goodness, this was a mistake. Salkin uses shadow magic to erase all evil from the planet. Your shadow magic is strong. With a flick of your wrist, you erase all evil from the world, as well as any supernatural creatures that would use it for ill. Helmut says, so has anyone done anything about the Heart of the Dragon? You know, the one we're here to find? Nope. Well, that would be bad, you say. Maybe we should go find it? Or at least search for it? Sounds like a plan. Coffee says, let's go then. We're just leaving. You are going to stay here and help me look through the history of this place, says Salkin. Damn. Salkin just busting caps in the state of the world. Salkin uses shadow magic to gain an idea of where the Heart of the Dragon is. Your power of shadow magic can reveal the truth, Shadow Necromancer Salkin says. Tell me, where is the Heart of the Dragon? The Shadows responds. Well, the Shadows tell Salkin something unexpected. Coffee uses chronomancy to instantly look through the entire history of the universe. You stretch out your senses, but you don't immediately find where the heart is. Well, that's quite the spell, Salkin says. Let's try another one then. This one uses time. The shadows tell Salkin something unexpected. The spell has split your soul in half. You have split yourself into two incorporeal shadows, Salkin says in surprise. I saw a change here, but at this point I can't keep track. I have no idea what the change was. Elstinko pulls up his sleeve, revealing a metallic arm. You look closer, and you realize it's some sort of weird tattoo. The hell is that? You ask. And then it disappears. You extend your senses out and find that the dragon heart is in the ground, firmly embedded into it. Let's go get it then, you say eagerly. Coffee says, Onward! You push through the heavy foliage and towards the dragon hearts. You come to a fork in the path, one going left straight towards the heart, and one right leading deeper into the jungle. Which way? Oh, come on, wallpaper. Let's just... Fine, I'll find one that's exactly the right thing. God darn. Temperamental piece of junk. There. Alright, back to the gabbining. Elstinko says, Let's split up, gang! Good idea, you say. Elstinko and Salkin each take a path, and you choose to stick with the more cowardly choice of taking the path that stays closer to the trees. Coffee imbues Elstinko with strength. I like to imagine this isn't like the character Coffee, this is literally Elstinko just sips a cup of joe. Elstinko smiles and nods. Thanks, he says, flexing his muscles a bit. He takes the lead, and you follow behind him. James follows the opposite way. You turn around and take a left, moving deep into the jungle. The undergrowth is so high you can barely see through it, and you're sure that you're lost. Salkin uses shadow magic to teleport the heart to Salkin's hands. Salkin casts a spell, and the dragon heart disappears with a pop. Interesting. Disappears from where? I got it, she says happily. Let's go get that heart. Somehow I don't think Salkin's spell worked the way he wanted it to. I'm going to guess that there's going to be some problems. Coffee says, I have a bad feeling about this. Me too, you say, grabbing your shotgun. Who's talking to Coffee there? Whatever. You walk deeper into the jungle, moving past the large tree with a golden dragon heart inside of it. We have to get that heart back and kill this dragon, Elstinko says, as if it's the most normal thing in the world. Yeah, I don't want to miss that. Coffee searches the surroundings for any bodies. Somebody's trying to turn this into Predator. Keep an eye out for any signs of survivors, you say to Elstinko. Will do, he says, as you both approach the massive tree. Yep, Sun Pillars. I have no idea who's playing who, incidentally. So if I talk about comments and they seem mismatched, what are you going to do? Sun Pillar mentions, what have I done, Salkin? How come you can erase all evil, but you can't teleport something? Well, the Dragon Heart is, and it's a powerful artifact. Even the most powerful shadow magic is going to have a rough time with it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been lost for so long. Coffee summons a skeleton warrior. You notice something hanging from a low-hanging branch. Coffee summons a skeleton warrior. You reach out your hand and grab the golden dragon heart, pulling it close to you. We should head back, Elstinko says. I'm ready to go. Salkin nods. Yeah, at this point, I think Helmut just stayed behind. He's guarding the subway. Coffee says, okay then. You begin to walk back along the jungle path. Soon, you can see the clearing ahead of you. I can barely make out the dragon in the clearing, Elstinko says. It's big. Helmut is not appearing in this adventure. Ignore it, you say. We have to focus on getting this heart to the wizard. All right, Elstinko says. You walk further along and step into the clearing. I wonder if there's like a paintbrush option as a source I can use. Just literally draw on the screen. I guess I could set an image and then try to update it in real time. I'll fuck with that later. Coffee creates a time portal to the wizard. A swirling portal opens up in the middle of the clearing, and you step into it. You find yourself once again in front of the wizard. Ah, I see you got my heart. He smiles. Salkin says, this dragon heart seems to have a strong power that prevents magic from affecting how you plan. Indeed, the wizard says. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was trying to find out exactly what effect it has when I picked it up. It's very interesting. The heart throbs. It's alive. And it's growing. Ah, the wizard says, it seems to be able to change size. This might be very useful indeed. Coffee imbues himself with psychic wards. I'm ready for anything, you say. The wizard smiles and draws a small glowing staff from behind him. Well then, let's begin, he says. Elstinko says, what did you need this for, wizard? Salkin says, maybe we should make something to harness this dragon heart's power. I need it to grind up some of this dragon's meat and place it in a vial for analysis, he says, pointing to a large machine in the corner. Yeah, the wizard says, waving his hand in dismissal. I have no need of an army. I can complete my spell myself. Farewell, and good luck to you. The heart lashes out and wraps a golden ventricle around the wizard's wrist. He gasps and falls backwards with a yell as the metal bonds him to the table. I can't escape, he says in dismay. Not without my hand! Maybe it wasn't so easy after all. Coffee uses chronomancy to return the dragon's heart. We have to go, you say, preparing for battle against the heart. You grab 2 dragons and a boy. Then you manipulate time to go back before the wizard did anything. Salkin, meanwhile, casts shadow magic on the wizard's arm to help him. You cast your magic on the wizard's wrist to protect it from the hearts. Run, you yell, as the heart comes out from behind the wizard and flies at you. Remember, belatedly, the heart is highly... What is going on with this stupid fucking keyboard? Highly resistant to magic. And it's made of gold. And dragon. It's very sturdy. Elstinko pulls out a dagger and begins to cut the heart. You run. You run as fast as you can away from the heart. You see the others, but they are far ahead. The heart is flinging fiery death at you. You remember belatedly the heart is highly resistant to magic, and it's made of gold and dragon. It's very sturdy. It's going to take you down. You turn once and leap at the heart's bonds to the wizard. Coffee incinerates the heart with a flamethrower. You run towards the heart as the heart unleashes a gout of flames at you. You rise up in the air and unleash a jet of flames of your own. We're suddenly getting some DBZ shit in here. The heart flash steps. The heart flash steps! You barely avoid a fiery death But the Dragonheart takes advantage of your distraction and wraps 2 chains around your arms. You fall to the ground, and the heart leaps onto you. Your heart is leaping out of your chest, or onto your chest. How unexpected. Coffee uses chronomancy to unwind time and age the Dragonheart to death. Fuck, you say in awe, as the heart's body vanishes into a blackness that you can't comprehend. Before you is a dragon's heart, without its protective covering of blood and flesh. It's an interesting question, because a heart is traditionally blood and flesh, and that's about it, so what else is there? Coffee crushes the dragon heart once and for all. You grab the dragon heart and begin to squeeze it repeatedly. The heart begins to beat. El Stinko pulls out a device and throws it at the heart. You grab the device and quickly cast a frost spell at the heart. The heart stops beating. You take a step back, panting. That was, you begin to say, huge? Salkin uses all Salkin's strength and concentration to use shadow magic to summon an ancient guardian of darkness. I'll help, Salkin says, putting strength into his voice. You concentrate. You feel a presence in the room, something ancient and dark. You feel a shiver run down your back. It's fear and excitement, and I sense one of the keystones of night, you hear the wizard say. Then the shadow beast appears, the size of a horse, but 10 times darker, and with a pair of piercing red eyes. Kill it, the wizard says. With pleasure, Salkin says, raising his sword. The shadow beast lets out a neigh of challenge as Salkin swings his blade. The shadow beast rears up, and Salkin rolls out of the way. It seems Salkin has summoned something he can't control. Coffee uses pyromancy to create an eternal flame, which apparently Coffee has not played Dark Souls and has not learned some lessons. You create a small fire that never goes out. I've created my own personal everlasting light, you say. Impressive, the wizard says. Coffee uses chronomancy to amplify the eternal flame. You amplify the fire, making a much larger eternal flame. Look at this, you say. The eternal flame grows to the size of a small house. El Stinko pulls out a spellbook of light to attack the shadow beast. You prepare for a large spell. Quickly, boy, the wizard demands, holding the spellbook. You grab the book in your hands. Coffee uses the combined forces of necromancy, chronomancy, and pyromancy to imbue the self with great power. I need to go too, Salkin says. You concentrate, as does Salkin and the wizard. You feel your soul being pulled out of your body and into the book. Brave step. Let's see how it works out for him. Coffee ascends past mortal form. Your soul ascends, as does your body, which disintegrates in the process. So Coffee has gone to heaven. You find yourself outside of El Stinko's house as an immense blue portal opens. The shadow beast lengthens, sprouting sharp angles and shapes that turn your stomach. Large teeth and bone blades form as it growls. What the hell is that? Salkin asks in terror. Coffee smites the shadow beast. You reach into the portal and summon a blade of pure light. You swing, slashing into the shadow beast. It howls in pain, but it does not die immediately. Coffee slashes again at the shadow beast. You swing again, slashing across the shadow beast's face. It howls, covering its face with its front paws. Kill it, El Stinko says. Coffee delivers a killing blow. You slash again, cutting the shadow beast's throat. It collapses to the ground as the portal closes. Thank the gods, El Stinko says. You smile. Have no fear. Salkin says, I wouldn't use light magic. It's an ancient dark beast. It is immune to all magic. It will absorb it and grow it's one of the 3 ancient dark beasts. The wizard nods. Oh, I see. It will absorb it and grow. It is one of the 3 ancient dark beasts. El Stinko says, this is fine. You nod. El Stinko, yep, you nod. Perfect. El Stinko nods. Give me the spellbook. El Stinko hands over the spellbook, and the wizard begins to chant from it. Coffee revives the shadow beast as a loyal pet. What could go wrong? The shadow continues to chant as the shadow beast comes to life. Oh! Salkin protests. You continue to focus, and slowly you begin to feel your body once again. Perfect. Coffee revives the shadow beast again and assimilates it. The shadow beast's body begins to shimmer as it begins to disintegrate. Then it reforms. Now the beast is reforming around you. This is bad. Coffee completely merges with the shadow beast. The shadow beast absorbs you as its body shimmers and reforms. Now we wait. For what, you ask? The beast breaks free of the barrier? We'll find out. Riley, how the fuck are you going to mess it up more than it's already messed up? The Shadow Beast has returned, but it now has all of Coffee's bullshit powers. The AI doesn't know what the fuck to do with that. I don't think anybody knows what the fuck to do with that. Let's try it again. Sometimes it'll jog loose. What was once a noble quest, I don't think it was ever a noble quest, is now an ugly and very weird adventure where you ride a magical abomination into battle. Anyway, we continue. Salkin tames the Shadow Beast with dark magic. You concentrate, preparing to summon your inner demons. No, El Stinko says, you're not summoning anything. Now we're going to enter the mind of a powerful wizard and steal his secrets. Coffee and the Shadow Beast are now one. Are you sure? Yes. Fuck you, that's dangerous. We're already here. Are we going to resist the chance to take his magic? Got some PvP going on. Yeah, the facts, you got the Dragon Hearts, and in the Dragon Hearts lashed out, turns out that it maybe wasn't as dead as people expected. In order to defeat the Dragon Heart, you summoned a Shadow Beast. You did in fact defeat the Dragon Heart, but the Shadow Beast turned out to be an even worse threat. You defeated the Shadow Beast, then Coffee brought it back because he wanted to eat its power. He wanted to assimilate it and become even more powerful. Well, he succeeded in doing so, but the Shadow Beast consumed him, and now Coffee is, in fact, the Shadow Beast. So Coffee is the Shadow Beast and your enemy and your worst nightmare, and everything is fucked. So, you are now currently arguing, incidentally, about how you can take the power of the Shadow Beast for yourself and perpetuate the cycle. Coffee enters the mind of the wizard. El Stinko raises his dagger, readying to slice through the beast in an attempt to free Coffee. The portal... What portal? Leads to a desolate landscape. Are you sure this is a place? There's a portal inside, apparently. Yes, El Stinko says. I'm almost certain. You enter El Stinko's mind, and you find yourself in a dark void. You look around, and a figure materializes. He's an old man with a long, graying beard. Coffee destroys the old man in the mindscape. You raise your hand and fire a bolt of dark energy. The old man seems to be unharmed as he regenerates. Coffee uses chronomancy to age the old man to death. You concentrate, and time begins to freeze around the old man. His flesh begins to crack as time stops for you. He attempts to cast a spell, but your powers are too strong. Salkin says, I hope you know that if the 3 Shadow Beasts merge, they will become an unstoppable dark force. Let's test that theory. Fuck, you're gonna do it, aren't you? El Stinko asks. Yep. Coffee says, good. 1 for each of us. You laugh. Well, it is a very pleasing thought. Excellent, El Stinko says. Now, shall we get on with this? Yes, let's. The old man smiles. He knows something you don't. Riley would really like there to be some kind of milk power involved. Okay, I don't know who typed that or said that, and it's kind of half-formed. If it sticks around for another minute, I'll read it. Otherwise, feel free to retry. I'll just skip over it, actually. Salkin uses dark magic to summon all 3 ancient dark beasts. Suddenly, you notice something is wrong. The portal leading to the wizard is closed. In the distance, you notice the other portal is beginning to close as well. It's not working, El Stinko yells. JudgeBot says El Stinko lied to you, so maybe it is working. You're going to have to make that call for yourself. But, if all the portals close, you'll be trapped in the mindscape, with no way out, not even for coffee. Calling you up, buddy. All 3 beasts are here. Stalkin, apparently your spell worked. You're right in the middle of them. You feel a tremor running through your body just by being so close to them. There's no way you can control them. All 3 at once. This is a brave move. This is bold. Coffee teleports out of the mindscape and kills a stink with necromancy. This is a point at which I would say, no you don't. But let's see what happens. Let me deal with this asshole, you say. You concentrate and feel a portal begin to form. You step inside. What are you doing? El Stinko asks. Salkin says, everybody, don't let them merge. They will kill us all. Shut up, you yell. In the distance, you see a strange creature appear. It's much larger than the other 2 and covered in spikes. Then you notice another one appear behind it. Coffee incinerates El Stinko's body. Then he appears in front of the 2 monstrosities. Come on, you shout. The spike beasts race towards him, but are much too slow. This hallucination. Coffee uses chronomancy to defeat the beasts and merge with them, huh? Guy's able to cut the legs off the first beast, the other one gets a lucky roll. Coffee is hallucinating. It seems all the magic he's consumed has overflowed and driven him mad. You watch in horror as his shadow attempts to consume you. You take a deep breath and wade into it, attempting to fight the hallucinations. Coffee uses chronomancy to instantly regenerate. Coffee's shadow tries to consume you, but you're able to survive the experience. Oh, no, fuck my head. He shakes his head and attempts to stand up. Coffee, if you don't play along, I am going to kick you. And we can just type you out from... We can just write you in from there. Salkin uses dark magic to merge all 3 dark beasts. I saw that. Both of the beasts in Salkin's body are consumed by a black void. Coffee uses chronomancy to reset everyone to the beginning of the adventure. He puts his hand on your shoulder, and you feel the adventure reset itself in front of you. Thanks, you say. Coffee says. I did tell you. Coffee's hallucinations so consume him, he doesn't realize when the last ebb of his essence floats away. There is no more coffee. The dark beasts like their coffee like they like their void. Black. They are two singular creatures again. This time, you are quicker and smarter though. You fight and defeat the voidlings and successfully manage to merge with them. Salkin practices dark magic until midnight. As you continue your trip to Holgard, the city you've heard so much about, you reflect on what's transpired. El Stinko didn't survive. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Within the time it takes you to drink your first cup of coffee, you've spent a grand total of 2 hours sleeping. Despite being exhausted, you continue to practice dark magic until midnight. The mindscape has closed. You are trapped inside, forever. But all of the power you've accumulated is condensing into milk? Yes, that's right. You're trapped inside a jug of milk in the middle of your kitchen. Look at what dark magic has reduced you to. You're a freak. You know who else was a freak? You know who else was a freak? Hitler. Naturally, the next day begins with you being poured onto your breakfast cereal. Ugh, you moan. You go for a walk. Good morning, sunshine. Okay, this is a twist. Take this whatever direction you like. Perhaps this too is a hallucination, and you need to snap out of it. Perhaps you should roll to save against illusions. Slurpee. I should learn to mute my microphone for that. Coffee did a lot of things. At that point, I had already said that he was hallucinating and his powers were not having an effect. So he did not rewind time. If you want to try rewinding time, it's like, whoa, that's supposed to be 1920 by 1080. What the fuck? Alright. That source is no good. Let's try this one. This may work, this may not. What the fuck? Come on. Are you gonna make me go to Bing? Wow. Something is messed up with Google results now. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Much better. Much better. Okay, back to it. Let's see here. With all this happening, something is sure. One thing is sure. The heart of the dragon has an effect over your minds. But they don't last forever. You need to hurry up with your quest. Lawful, you can come back, you can be a ghost, you can just declare that what happened was a hallucination. I mean, you were in a mindscape. Everything was fucky right around then. How many are there anyway? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, ignore me, but... Oh, there we go. Yeah, things are happening. Come on. El Stinko wakes up in a cold sweat. Coffee was once your friend. He whimpered and blubbered as the voidlings erased him from existence. But he had a purpose. Now, he's just another pawn for the greater evil. Salkin uses dark magic to morph a portal to a hidden mindscape. The portal forms. You grin. It's time to play. You go to where you last saw your little horde of voidlings. Inside the hidden mindscape are the 6 golden milk jugs, representing everyone who started the adventure, plus the wizard, who showed up eventually and didn't really do anything. It's been a month since you got back from the island, and after that, what? Okay, that didn't happen. That's weird. Fuck off. You realize it's just as easy to manipulate things in your sleep, so you can get the perfect ending, where everyone gets their happy ending. Not that kind of happy ending. That is milk in the background, not other things. Salkin says, "So, if I smash this milk jug, will one of us die?" "Yes," everyone says. "No," a different person says. "Oh yeah, you're right," Salkin says. The group is silent for a second as they realize what's going on. Coffee, you actually might be able to join again. I don't know if it, bans you, or if it just disconnects you. El Stinko drinks coffee. "I'm not drinking that," El Stinko says. "Yes, you are. It's for your sacred quest," you say. El Stinko pouts and drinks it anyway. Oh shit. Salkin smashes all the golden milk jugs. "Goodbye, Salkin," you say. "Bye, El Stinko. Thanks for the milk," Salkin says. El Stinko smiles. Pouts. Wait, what? Okay. Time rewound, so I don't actually remember what the rest of that was. Alright, everyone attack the wizard, you say. There are shockwaves of reality just bouncing in and out at this very moment. Things that have happened have stopped happening. Things that weren't happening are now happening. The group charges. You dodge out of the way of a lightning bolt, but it misses you anyway. The wizard is defending his golden milk jug with his life. He is afraid for his soul. Yep, coffee's gone forever, he said it himself. Good. You will taunt him and get him to make a mistake so you can catch him off guard. The wizard, not coffee. You laugh. The wizard threw up a magical barrier, but the group has already penetrated his defenses. So this is not going to be a very effective final boss, I think. Isn't that comma R typing? It's supposed to be showing names. It's like that has nothing to do with Streamlabs or OBS. It's just showing that way on the webpage, so it's fucked. Yeah, so kind of the recap, you took the fight to the dreamscape closed up, everybody kind of went on a mind bender, slowly woke up within the dream and were able to make your way back into the mindscape. You have now found the golden milk jugs that represent your very selves and are deciding what to do about it, really. The wizard didn't want you to break them, so he tried to fight back. Salkin cast a highly concentrated ancient dark spell on the wizard. The wizard's head explodes as his spell hits him dead on. His body drops, but you're already onto your next target, the golden milk jug. You grab it and feel its power run through your hand. For a moment, the group thinks the wizard cast a spell to protect himself, but he cast a strong protective spell. He cast a strong protective spell in the jug only. Riley, we're pretty much wrapping up here, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity, sorry. You throw the jug at the other 5. All innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. It shatters spectacularly, rivulets of golden milk spilling out and covering everyone in sight. The milk soaks in. You absorb the wizard. Not just his power, but his soul, his essence, his memories. You remember his childhood. His puppy was beautiful. You all laugh maniacally at the joke you don't remember, and the group mind begins to glow a bright pink color. In perfect unison, you all say, "Yes." You are all the wizard. The wizard is all you. You are all powerful. You are powerful because you are all. You have reached perfection. Your quest is over, and you have won. But what about the ancient dragon heart? For the rest of your life, and you live for a very long time, you will wonder if the heart is controlling you, or if you are in control of it. Crabbo comes out of thin air. There's no such thing as ghosts. He did. That did happen. I just threw it in there to see what would happen, honestly. I had no plans of it having an effect. El Stinko begins to fade out and returns to his dimension. Goodbye, you crazy mofo. El Stinko disappears into the portal. You have won. You can't hear anything. In fact, you don't want to. Nothing is happening. The end. Well, let's give it a slightly more upbeat shot on that. You all drink 5 milk jugs and become even more plurality. You have become the power. You are the power. The crabs cannot hurt you anymore. Nothing can hurt you anymore. Crabs popped out of the woodwork and attacked. There were so many types of those creatures you couldn't even keep count. They clawed, bit, and bashed at you, and nothing happened. The world disappeared into a pink haze, and where was this once you, there is now only us. There is now only milk. Good job, champ. Yep, quest is over. You successfully retrieved the dragon's heart. You assimilated dark powers into yourself. The 3 ancient dark beasts, you conquered them and consumed their power. And then you drank each other's soul milk. And merged into a collective consciousness that is so powerful, nothing can stop you. You win. Thanks for playing. If you made it this far, you are either a really dedicated reader, an insane person, or both. Either way, there's only one more conclusion. Either you, the reader, killed the ancient dragon and won, or some other player won. Congratulations! Spoiler, it was you. You killed the ancient dragon. Nobody can take that from you. That was all you. Oop, I should have put a 10 on there. Let's see if it knows what to do. Top 10 insane powers. Oh, good. Manifested by Coffee, the all-powerful. Number 10. Trucks involuntarily jump in the air and crash in storms of fiery wreckage. All potatoes automatically enter a state of French frying when near Hero Coffee. With a thought, Hero Coffee can manifest a screenshot of adultverse.com with over 1 thread and 30 replies in the middle of a battlefield. I don't know if adultverse.com exists. I'm not going to check. Let's see. With a thought, one could give any one command to all people, regardless of brain chemistry or physical distance. This command must be repeated every so often to avoid mass compliance with lobotomized suggestions. With a single thought, coffee can cause a single person to become disfigured or die. With but a thought, coffee can summon the forces of nature and have a volcanic eruption occur in the area of an enemy. With a thought, coffee can create an army of identical coffee beans, each able to perform any task, obey any order, with perfect accuracy and speed. These armies can be as large as necessary. With a thought, coffee can create or destroy any substance, from smoke and mist to entire rooms made of solidified air. With a wish of coffee, the main character, all events that have occurred in the story so far occur again, except with himself as a central character. His choices and actions determine the path of the story. With a wish, coffee can become God. You have won! Congratulations! Your name is gleefully announced on Coffee's website. You're also awarded some sort of badge. And now you must create a story. Without further ado, let us write the story of your creation, created by you, for you to enjoy reading.